Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night without knowing why? Everything around you feels still and the silence feels heavier than usual. The world is asleep, the lights are off, and there is no obvious reason for you to be awake. Yet your eyes are open and your heart feels alert. You look at the time and realize it is very late or very early. Somewhere in the last part of the night, when most people are deep in sleep, a question quietly forms in your mind: why now and why me? This moment feels different even if you cannot explain it. Most people would ignore this moment. They would turn over and go back to sleep or reach for distraction. But moments like this are rarely loud. They do not force attention. And this is where many people miss something important. Islam teaches that the night carries meanings the day cannot hold. When the noise fades, the heart becomes more honest.
When distractions disappear, awareness has space to rise.
Dosh.
This is why the last part of the night is described as a time of mercy, closeness, and answered dua. Not because a person is special, not because they are perfect, but because every heart needs moments of return. This is uncomfortable to hear, but it is true. Allah opens doors quietly, and most of them appear when no one else is watching. So if you ever find yourself awake during those hours, do not rush past the moment. Do not dismiss it as random too quickly. Pause for a second and pay attention, because this awakening may not be meaningless. That moment is not random. It is not just a coincidence or a strange habit of sleep. It feels deeper because it is deeper. Something inside you is being stirred. But this does not mean certainty, it means possibility. It means an opening. And this is where many people misunderstand what is happening.
The heart awakens before the body does. You feel alert without knowing why. You may still feel tired, but your soul feels present. This is not something you plan. It happens quietly. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows your pain. He knows your longing. He knows what you carry during the day and hide at night. When distractions fade, the heart becomes more honest. The night is different from every other time. The noise of the day disappears. The masks people wear fall away. Thoughts become clearer and emotions feel closer. In that stillness, people often feel exposed. They cannot escape their thoughts. They cannot drown their feelings. This is uncomfortable, but it is important. Islam teaches that the last part of the night is a time of mercy, a time when dua is answered, a time when forgiveness is offered, not because a person is special, but because every heart needs a way back. Allah does not force anyone in those moments. He does not demand, He invites. The invitation is gentle and it can be ignored. Most people do ignore it. People roll over and return to sleep. Others reach for distraction. They feel the moment pass without realizing what it carried. And the night moves on quietly. But for those who pause, something changes. Awareness grows. The heart softens. A person begins to understand that this moment was not meaningless. This awakening is not proof of closeness. It is an opportunity for closeness. What matters is not that you woke up. What matters is what you choose to do next. The night does something the day cannot do. It removes noise. It removes performance. It removes distraction. When everything slows down, the heart no longer has places to hide. During the day, people stay busy. They talk, scroll, work, and move constantly. There is always something demanding attention. Pain gets buried. Emptiness gets ignored.
The heart stays occupied, not healed.
At night, that protection disappears. Silence replaces noise. Stillness replaces movement. And suddenly thoughts feel louder. Emotions feel heavier. This is where many people feel uncomfortable and want to escape. Loneliness becomes clearer at night. Regret feels closer.
Questions you avoided during the day return quietly. You cannot outrun them in silence. You can only sit with them. This is not meant to break you. It is meant to show you what needs attention. Most people misunderstand this discomfort and see it as a problem. In reality, it is information. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created the night as a place of rest, but He also made it a place of return. When the heart is tired, the night gives space. When the soul is heavy, the night allows honesty. This is why dua feels different at night. Words come out more easily. Tears come without effort. The heart speaks without rehearsing.
This is uncomfortable, but it is real. People often ask why pain surfaces at night. It is because distraction is gone. What was pushed aside during the day finally rises, and the heart is forced to face itself. Allah does not expose pain to punish. He exposes it to heal. What is acknowledged can be treated. What is ignored only grows heavier. The night does not bring weakness, it reveals it. And revelation is the first step toward return. Islam gives special attention to the last part of the night. This is not symbolism, it is guidance. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala Himself draws attention to this time. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught that in the last third of the night, Allah draws near in a way that fits His majesty. He calls out to His servants. He invites them to ask. He invites them to seek forgiveness. This is not a metaphor. This is a promise. At that time, Allah asks who is calling upon Him. He asks who is seeking forgiveness. He asks who needs something answered. And this is where many hearts hesitate. Not because they do not need Allah, but because they feel unworthy. They think they must fix themselves first. They forget that this call exists because they are weak. This nearness is not limited to the righteous. It is for the struggling heart. It is for the tired soul. It is for the one who feels distant but still hopes. The night removes the audience. No one sees you stand. No one hears you speak. The sincerity becomes clearer. The heart stops performing. This is why dua at night feels heavier, not louder, but truer. Words come without decoration. Intentions come without filters. This honesty is uncomfortable, but it is precious. Allah does not invite to embarrass. He invites to forgive. He does not call to expose. He calls to heal. The night becomes a private space between the servant and the Lord. Many people know these narrations. Few respond to them. Knowledge stays in the mind. Action waits for later. This is where opportunity quietly passes. The last part of the night is not special because of the hour itself. It is special because hearts are quieter. When the heart is quiet, it can finally listen. Most people do not miss this call because they reject Allah. They miss it because they are tired, they are distracted, they are overwhelmed, and exhaustion makes ignoring feel easier than responding. Some people wake up and feel the moment, they sense the silence, they feel the pull, but they convince themselves it is not important. And this is where many hearts quietly turn away. Others tell themselves they will respond another night. They believe they will pray when life is calmer. They forget that calm rarely arrives on its own. Delay feels harmless, but it slowly becomes a habit. Shaitan does not always push people towards sin. Sometimes he pushes them towards sleep, toward postponement, toward comfort. This is uncomfortable to admit, but it is real. People also hesitate because of guilt. They remember their mistakes. They remember how long they have ignored Allah. They feel ashamed to stand after so much distance. But this hesitation misunderstands mercy. Allah does not invite the perfect. He invites the returning. The call exists because weakness exists. Most people miss this because they wait to feel worthy. The night passes quietly. The invitation fades with it. Nothing dramatic happens. No punishment arrives. Just another missed opportunity. And missed opportunities rarely feel painful at first. They feel normal. They only hurt later when regret finally speaks. This is why many hearts remain distant, not because Allah is far, but because they repeatedly turn away when closeness is offered. When a person responds to this call, something shifts inside. The heart softens. The heaviness does not disappear instantly, but it becomes lighter. Pain feels acknowledged instead of buried. Standing at night does not fix everything. It does something more important. It realigns the heart. A person remembers who they are speaking to, and they remember they are not alone. Tahajjud does not change life overnight. It changes how life is carried. Problems may remain. Circumstances may stay the same, but the heart no longer feels abandoned. In the quiet of the night, sincerity becomes natural. There is no audience, no performance, just honesty. This is where many hearts feel relief for the first time. Dua at night feels different. Words come out slowly. Tears come without effort. The heart speaks before the mind can edit. This honesty is not polished, but it is accepted. Responding to this call builds awareness. A person becomes more conscious during the day. Sins feel heavier. Intentions feel clearer. Choices begin to change quietly. This is why those who pray at night often feel guarded during the day, not because they are stronger, but because their hearts have been reminded where strength comes from. Allah places barakah in moments of sincerity. A few minutes at night can shape an entire day. Small acts done with awareness begin to compound. This is how change grows without noise. Tahajjud does not make a person perfect, it makes them present. And presence is what allows healing to begin. Many people hesitate to respond because they think it requires too much. They imagine long nights, extreme discipline, and sudden transformation. That belief stops them before they even begin. Islam does not call people through overwhelm, it calls them through mercy. Responding to this call does not mean changing everything at once. It means choosing to begin even in a small way. You do not need to stand for a long time. You do not need perfect focus. You do not need the energy of others. Even a few quiet minutes are enough when they are sincere. Start by waking up with intention. Even if you only sit for a moment, even if you only speak to Allah briefly, this is where consistency quietly begins. Some nights you will feel strong, other nights you will feel tired. That fluctuation is normal. Islam does not expect perfection, it values return. Do not measure this moment by how emotional it feels. Measure it by whether you showed up. Presence matters more than intensity. Most people wait for motivation. Growth begins with intention. Guard one small habit, one dua you do not skip, one moment of honesty before Allah. Let that be your anchor. Over time, that anchor will hold you steady. When the heart responds gently, it stays open. When pressure is added, it closes again. This is why ease protects consistency. Tahajjud is not a burden placed on you. It is a door opened for you. You choose whether to step toward it, and every step, no matter how small, is seen. The night will pass whether you respond or not. The silence will fade. The world will wake up again, and the moment you felt will quietly move on. Most people will forget it by morning. They will return to routine. They will tell themselves it was nothing. This is how invitations are lost without being rejected. You do not have to respond perfectly. You do not have to respond every night. You only have to notice the moment when it comes. Awareness is where every return begins.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not need your worship. You need the closeness. You need the honesty. You need the space to speak without masks. This is why the door opens when no one is watching. If you ever wake up in those quiet hours again, remember this. Pause before you dismiss it. Sit before you distract yourself. Speak before you escape. One sincere moment can change direction. One honest dua can soften years of hardness. One quiet return can begin healing that nothing else touched. The invitation will come softly. It will not force you. It will not chase you, but it will keep returning as long as mercy allows. Do not wait to feel worthy. Do not wait to feel ready. Respond as you are, weak, tired, and hopeful.